Hey everyone, I wasn't going to make a video just yet, but I wanted to show some progress, some updates, so you can see what I've been working on. I was going to wait until I had this a little more finalized, but I wanted you to see the process. So this is what I decided to go with. I kept the, I guess like the S curve there, the little curve in the river. Um, I think it looks pretty good so far. What I'm trying to do, if you remember the old classic castle base plates, they had like a multicolor. It didn't just go from like green to blue. They had like a tan or a light tan in here. So that's what I wanted to do. And I did like a gradation. So I'm going to do this a little differently than my old platform. I'm going to do a partial mills. Some areas full mills. Where, if you don't know what that is, Google Lego MILS and you'll see what I'm talking about. You can see some of it here. But I'm using just two plates in a lot of spots. Like two plates or just one plate rather than a whole brick. So this is what I am doing here. Now let me show you what my plan is. Every plate is going to be separate, but they all blend perfectly. So here you can have like a close-up here. Here I did a little rock. I'm still waiting on some parts. These are not finished at all. Like I'm going to replace this piece here with a green one. These two need green, which I don't have. I just put these in here like as a placeholder until I can get them. I'm missing a few like light blue trans water pieces for here. I need to add replace one of these dark blue with a trans light blue. A few things like that. I still have to add all the shrubbery, some rocks and so forth. But as you can see like there, if I line this up, look, when I put them together, see it's like a really nice blend. Each one goes into the next. And this bridge just pops right off. It's just connected by those two studs there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all plates here, or I'm sorry, tiles. So the bridge is going to sit like all tiled here and here underneath so you don't see it, but you'll easily be able to remove it right where that goes there. So and it crosses perfectly. And I'm going to do, see how I have this little arch, I'm going to do a little wedge. I'm going to do the same thing here so it doesn't interfere with the bridge connections, little wedges. So this can just pop off real easy. Boom. Same with back here. And when I do like the mills, I'm going to match the height of here, and then I'll have like a gradation and it'll, go down. And here, let's show you this up here. So see, we line this up. Look at that. Perfect. I have to replace this one with a green one. Like I said, I'm out. Same with this one up here. So, but yeah, these platforms are all going to connect, and here, as you can see, boom, connects. So here's my plan. I have these little pebbles here. Each platform kind of tells a little story. So I have these pebbles here, so it's like a little crossing over the river, a little dangerous crossing. But I did that on purpose. I was going to use like all tiles, but now you could put a little minifigure, having him pose with him like a scared face or something, like he's trying to cross. So it just gives me the option. Oops, that stuck to his foot. We'll leave that over here for now. Over here is going to be the little forestman. I have the what's his name? The forestman set over here, which like I said, Castle in the Forest, but that's going to go separately. This is going to be like a little forestman encampment. So what I'm going to do is I might build this section up and have the forestman hideout over there. This tree, I'm waiting on more bricks from Rebrickable, which is why I haven't done more progress. I'm actually going to raise this up by a full brick. I'm going to have a green slope, so I'm really going to give this some height. This section, compared to my old section, is going to have a lot of depth, a lot of height variations. It's going to look pretty cool. So I'm going to have this raised up the tree, forestman hideout there, and then where the bridge crosses, I'm going to have it stay low, almost like a little valley. Not crazy, but just, a few plates or whatever, difference in height or, a brick. And it's going to kind of go through and curve around between the tree and the forestman's hideout. And maybe in the back there, I'm going to keep that well. I might put down like a chopped down tree, a little campfire. So this whole, if you can see it here, if I move this out, this whole plate or this whole base plate will be like a forestman's hideout, encampment, which would be pretty nice. I might even add like some stones along the road that go through the valley, after you go over the bridge. So that's going to be pretty cool. So that'll be nice. And I still have to put, the birch trees up. This plate here is separate. I haven't done really anything on here. I'm going to, like I said, tile over here. But this is so you can get an idea of my process and how I do it. Although I've never done it like this before, like a mill style. I'm not doing true mills because these are not meant to be put wherever you want. I mean, I have a specific setup. My river goes in a certain pattern. I have a certain, a vision in my head on how I want everything to look. So let's go over here. I'll just show you this again. This I kind of cheated. If you notice, like the river is one height, it goes up to kind of cover it, and then the ground goes back down again, rather than, the ground should be higher than the river. But I didn't have the parts at the time, so I kind of cheated. I did a little bit like that here, where it went up, but I mean, this is where the mill system comes in, where it's good. But I didn't want this to be interchangeable, like that type of mill system. Like I wanted the swamp over here on the right side. I wanted the castle ruins up there on the top. I wanted this to be a path. So I never wanted this to be like, oh, you can just move around forest sections like a true mill system. So everything does have like a specific point or a place where it needs to be. So I guess that's like the main difference. But over here though, as you can see, like I said, I cheated over here a little bit with the height variations. Over here, I am not going to do that. I ordered a lot of parts. I'm waiting on several orders from Bricklink. Green slopes, green tiles, green wedges, you name it. Everything to do like these plates underneath for mills. So I'm going to give this, like I said, a lot of depth. On this end here, I'm probably going to have it go up a little higher to like a full brick, and then kind of gradually go down till it hits the shoreline. Same with this back one here. This one I'll keep fairly level. Like I said with the forestman, I'm going to raise up the tree quite a bit. Another whole brick on top of what you see there, and slope up. And another little trick I'll show you too. See how I kind of have like the branches go into the ground, I'm sorry, the roots go into the ground there? Well, when I raise this whole thing up by another brick, I'm probably going to put something like, one of these wedges here. And then, this will be high up, so it'll look like the roots are, coming out from underground, then re-emerging again, kind of like you would see a real tree, which is pretty cool. So it just adds little details like that. Add a lot to the set, or add a lot to the scene. So I just need to plan all this out. But I wanted to give you an update, and also this video was an excuse to show you my new intro. I hope you like it. It's it's similar, but I did like the full storybook style intro. Little captions or on the side there. So if you want to pause it and read them. But what that allows me to do with the new intro template, I can change out any of those pictures very easily now. Just type in some new text and done. So I can add new stories as I go. Maybe even take some user suggestions on YouTube and incorporate them, add new characters, just little blurbs, just fun little stuff I can do with that in the storybook intro now. And I really cleaned up the After Effects template and optimized it, got rid of some shadow issues, even little things like you'll notice too, the pages are, each piece of paper now is a little different. I moved the texture around so it looks like a unique page, a lot of little corrections that you might not notice at first glance, but I like this new format much better. So, but this is where I'm going right now. This will look good too, I guess, when I add like the bamboo leaves, covering the little rocks. This will really look nice once I finish the whole thing up. If everybody wants to see a tutorial on how I make these river sections, let me know in the comments. I can maybe do a small section in a future video just on like a little portion of a plate, just so you can get a better idea. But this river here is, I believe, I wanted to make it a little narrower than the old river, which was 12 studs wide. This one is 8. So if I'm going to do an 8 stud wide river, what I will do is I'll use 6 of the dark trans blue. You have to offset them. You never want to put them just side by side. You want to have that like look of flowing water, and that really adds to it. So like if you notice, they're all offset by 1 stud. And then you do the light trans blue along the banks, which it's like the water's a little more shallow as it hits the the river bank. It just adds that little effect, that little bit of realism, which really makes it look good. And then underneath, it doesn't matter what color you use on the bottom, surround these tiles here with any color you want, just to give it studs that are the same height, basically like this. These green ones are flush with that because I intended this to be a grass area. But basically cover the rest of the plate with the plates. Now you want to have an organic look that overlaps the river on top. You can be mix and match, try different patterns, combinations. As you can see, I use different wedges, different styles. I go all the way up. You just want to keep it a complete organic flow all the way around the river, and like offset or just cover those tiles a little bit. You don't want any of the underlying plates to show. If you notice, you don't see any of the studs of the underlying plates. My riverbank covers all of it, so it overlaps those trans tiles all over the place. But that's good. It gives it that realistic look. And then the top part, because I'm doing a layered system here where I have like the dirt and then I have the grass. So you give yourself room and you have the grass up here, and you do the same thing. Give it an organic, flow all the way around. So, and if you want to even go further and use like a full brick mill system, you can even go now another layer, like have another grass layer up here. But because I'm trying to keep it where these plates are separate, I want to have this where I can take this apart section by section easily at any time. So I'm not going to have any plates overlap from base plate to base plate. I want this, maybe I'll use like a rock or something hidden you won't see that'll connect these two all the way around here. Like I'm not going to, these are not going to be perma-locked. Like it'll be like a round rock, like a tile or something like that right there, which keeps these together. Pop that off. Now I can separate this whole section. So that's what I did with actually the other forest over there. It's the same process. I can disconnect that entire thing by every base plate very easily. So it's going to be the same thing here. But if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can definitely do a video on that too. But until next time, let me know what you think of the new intro style, and maybe any stories you want to see and suggestions. I'm willing to take them, and we'll go from there. Thanks again.